Sunday match is at the Valley, where Charlton's exciting young team take on revitalised Sunderland. The kick-off is at 2:55. Good afternoon to you all. Charlton's fear of the live cameras has definitely disappeared. This afternoon they'll hope to build on last week's victory at Luton. But Peter Reid, he's got Sunderland in the groove. They could go second behind Millwall if they win this afternoon's game at the Valley. Ian St John with us this afternoon. Welcome, Saint.
Thank you, James.
I know you're looking forward in particular to having a look at some of those young Charlton players.
Yes, I am. I mean, they've been getting the headlines, haven't they, this year? You know, great goals, great football. So, yes, looking forward to that this afternoon. OK, Saint, we will talk, of course, throughout the afternoon with Ian St John. Charlton, certainly the youngest team in the Ensley First Division, and I would think only Manchester United compare in the Premiership. Alan Kubicki then reaping the rewards of a caring policy that's produced a rich stream of talent over the years. Gabriel Clark reporting.
If it was a manufacturing industry, the Japanese would have bought it by now.
Yeah, I'm coming short there.
The Charlton Athletic School of Excellence might not yet compare to the awesome system at Ajax, but in South London they're wonderfully efficient at discovering young players. This season, Bruce Rioch, Roy Evans, Brian Robson and Alex Ferguson have cast admiring glances at the latest talents off the Charlton production line. Centre-half Dean Chandler, full-back Paul Sturgis, winger Sean Newton, full-back Jamie Stuart, striker Paul Linger, defender Richard Rufus and midfielder Lee Bowyer, all under 20 but all in the first-team squad.
4 or 5 years ago, myself and Stevie Gritt, when we took over, we realised it was the only route we could go down, and to the detriment of the first team in actual respect, where monies were put towards the youth development as opposed to trying to bring players into the first team, and now it's bearing fruit.
I think the club have been very wise in putting resources in the early days both into the main ground and into the training ground here, and people that don't know the club and come for the first time to visit the training ground are very impressed.
Your first thought is head up, then I see Nels.
Charlton are not the only club financially dependent on breeding their own players. They've just turned that necessity into a virtue. They realised long ago they can't compete with London's top teams when it comes to offering glamour, status or even the signing-on fees that are creeping into the schoolboy market. But they can give a blossoming career a very big push start.
Pitchers with a shot, and they score!
In the last few seasons, Darren Pitcher, Scott Minto, Anthony Barnes, Gordon Watson and Robert Lee have all moved on to Premiership clubs.
If there's a parent out there with a talented young boy and they can see that if they come to Charlton, firstly they'll be coached correctly at our schools. We put a lot of emphasis on teaching the boys the right habits, and if they show the potential, they know that if they show the potential as a 17, 18 or 19 year old, they will get given a chance here.
If you get in the first team early, you can show what you can do. Like other clubs at Arsenal, Tottenham, mainly like you're there till you're 23, you're stuck in the reserves, like maybe your football ain't going too well, but when you're at like lower clubs like Charlton, they give you a chance, and that's what I'm grateful for at the moment.
Do you see this as being the right move for you? Somebody said you should have stayed with a bigger club.
No, I think this is the right move. It's better off to start off like not at a lower club but a nice little club like this. It's a nice club, I like it here, but if you start off big then you can only go down, can't you? So
Lee Bowyer's goals and performances are apparently attracting most attention from the Premiership observers, but Alan Kubicki is keen to protect him from the press and the agents looking to muscle in. And unlike previous seasons, Charlton are not obliged to sell to the first club offering the right price. They'd prefer Bowyer and the rest gained experience at the Valley.
What's the word?
It's all encouraging news. Even better, Charlton believe the class of 95 could be just the beginning.
The good thing is that we've now got under 14s, under 13s, under 12s who want to come to Charlton because they see that this is the club where they can develop. And we've got strength in depth now, and the important thing now is to keep that going.
Well, as they say, it isn't Ajax, but Saint. It's a terrific scheme, and that one of the important things that came out there is getting them young, teaching them the right habits early.
Jim, that's the way it's got to go, and I mean, we've known for some years now that Charlton, that's been their policy. But as you know, in football, that's always it's a long-term policy, and very few managers ever see the end of a youth scheme that they set up in the beginning. But thankfully at Charlton, they've been allowed to do that, and we can see the fruits of the labours now. They've sold on some of the stars, the earlier ones. This crop they've got now, as we heard Gabriel say, they don't have to sell them. So they've got them now, and that's money in the bank, players, Jim. And we can see what they're doing with the schoolboys is terrific. And that is the way we've got to go to bring on the stars of the future. A lot of money by all clubs should be spent at youth football and the schoolboys.
I agree with you on that, Saint. Let me just point you towards the Valley to join Theo Foley and match commentator Brian Moore.
Welcome to the Valley. As you can see, it's a beautiful autumnal afternoon here in South London. My first job, as usual, is to give you the team information. Charlton fresh from their victory over Luton. They say the club is really on the up now. Today they've got one change forced on them. John Robinson is suspended, and Mark Robson gets his first start down the left since the opening games of the season. He was injured then. A side with quality youngsters, influential older pros as well, like John Humphrey, Colin Walsh and Gary Nelson. That's the way they will line up, with Leaburn and Nelson, the two men up front. Robson, as I say, down the left-hand side. So that's Charlton Athletic. Sunderland, a good recent record against Charlton. They are building well now under Peter Reid. Today they've left out the promising youngster, Sam Aiston. He's in the subs bench. Craig Russell goes down the right. Michael Gray goes down the left. And David Kelly, injured last week, returns to join Phil Gray up front. The referee today is Ken Leach from Wolverhampton. Charlton, in fact, had a scare this morning over their goalkeeper, Mike Salmon. He's had an outstanding season, but he's got a slight muscle injury on his side, but he's going to play. As a precaution, though, they've got Mike Ammann, their substitute goalkeeper, amongst their subs. Just wondering whether David Kelly might make it a difficult afternoon for Mike Salmon. Once at West Ham, of course, David, or recently at Wolves, returns to the Sunderland attack. Injury kept him out last week of their victory over Barnsley. And there's the man, the goalkeeper, Californian in fact, Mike Ammann, waiting in the wings. Sunderland, many people say, are the best team in this division of the Ensley League. We shall now get some idea, but Charlton also really fancy themselves as a genuine top six side. So we have at the Valley here today, with quite a good crowd, a match of some significance. Sunderland have lost only 2 of their last 11, really performing well with the real competitive touch that you expect from a manager like Peter Reid. Just waiting then for the referee to get the first whistle, and it's Sunderland in a chain strip of yellow, making a great run here. Craig Russell knocking the ball inside, and Charlton having some difficulty getting it away. Mark Robson in the end, neatly getting it clear, but not all that far. Sean Newton, right opening half minute or so for Sunderland. I remember seeing about 3 or 4 weeks ago at Crystal Palace, they did exactly the same and got a penalty in the first half minute, which they proceeded to miss. I've never seen a quicker penalty than that. That was really a bright start. They won at Palace, incidentally. They've won at Millwall as well this season, so they really do quite enjoy this South London air. It'll be Martin Scott then taking the throw. He missed that penalty at Palace in that opening minutes. They now won for Charlton Athletic. Bright enough start, Theo?
It is indeed. I mean, they're a very, very confident side, Sunderland, as you rightly say, and it's hard to believe anyone can get a penalty in that space of time. But they've started very, very confidently here, Brian.
Up to Gary Nelson, the scorer of the winner at Luton last week. Charlton throw. Charlton beaten, for their point, to be fair, only once have they been beaten at home in the league this season. They had a victory here against Wimbledon from the Premiership in the Coca-Cola Cup. Pretty high on confidence, and face Wolves here in the Coca-Cola Cup, a replay on Wednesday. himself a little tangled up as Bracewell brings it away again. Some good play here again. Knocked wide there by Kelly. Gray plays it into the middle. Kelly trying to get on the end of it. Phil Gray's in there as well. And Charlton at full stretch in their own penalty area to keep this one away. Gray again on the far side there, knocked in by Scott, and the keeper's ball has it knocked out of him, but there's a whistle and a free kick. The foul by Phil Gray.
There's a very good movement at the moment by all the Sunderland forward players, particularly Phil Gray there. He did excellent, but they look very confident. The interesting thing for me, Brian, would be in midfield where you got Bracewell and Walsh, and the ever-impressing the boy Bowyer. So it's a really contrast of styles as far as I'm concerned. But up front, I do like the movement of the front two, Gray and David Kelly.
Sean Newton with a header for Charlton. And up goes Colin Walsh. Mike Salmon's with this slight injury. I think it's on the side actually, but obviously feeling it and taking a few exercises. I think the backroom staff weren't at all sure about whether he should play or not. I hope I'm not giving away any confidences there, but I think mostly in any case, as they say, he's a mature player. He knows what he can do. He knows whether he's injured or not, and I think on those occasions, in any case, they leave it to the player, don't they?
Yeah, the only thing is with a keeper, of course, the one thing you're worried about is hips and, of course, general mobility. At the moment, he seems to be doing a lot of stretching on that right leg and didn't like the kick out at all.
Foul on Scott. Free kick to Sunderland.
They have started very, very impressively. It's hard to imagine. They look like the home side at the moment. That's what confidence does.
It's going to be Kevin Ball. Nobody more competitive than he. With the free kick for Sunderland, floating it really high. Back again towards Bracewell. Mary Nelson got there first. Already in his opening minutes, one or two Charlton fans around me getting a little frustrated. I want a bit more forward action from their team, but they just can't get out of their own half at the moment. Here's Scott on the far side, or rather Gray on the far side. Michael Gray going down that flank, and a very good run by him, and a cross coming in, and there could be problems here. And again, well, it was Mark Robson there, deep in his own 6-yard area, who actually got the important clearance. And Sunderland looking very dangerous indeed. This is a really good start. Needs all the wily footballing brains like Colin Walsh on the ball at the moment, knocking it wide to another wily one, John Humphrey, just calming things down again, playing the way they know they can play. Humphrey again, knocking it in this time towards Carl Leaburn, and it'll be a Charlton throw.
Two very good crosses, both of which I think got just very, very lucky deflections, otherwise it could have been down there. Charlton really need to get some players up the field. That's the biggest problem. They've been pushed back so much.
Scott to Gray. Bracewell heading it back. I think it's the first touch actually for Alec Chamberlain.
He really is a player, Paul Bracewell. He's done very, very well for this team.
Kubicki, Polish player. Foul by Walsh on Phil Gray. Michael Gray down that far side, looks as though he could really cause some problems this afternoon. Twinking away on the edge of the box there. That was a dangerous challenge there by Lee Bowyer, but the referee looked hard at it, decided there was no foul.
He's had two rash challenges, Lee Bowyer, one there in a moment, and that was a lovely bit of skill from the lad Gray. They've always had one or two of those. They've always produced one or two of those players.
Robson to Bowyer, and out to Jamie Stuart. Robson again. Well, nobody there, so Walsh has to come for it. A throw given Sunderland's way.
Which Colin didn't agree with.
Bowyer going in there with the challenge.
Very lucky young man.
And a little bit of a push there as well, you know.
Very lucky man. I think if it happens again, he'll be penalised.
Kubicki came off Mark Robson. Phil Gray with the throw, leaving it go for Darius Kubicki. Played every game this season, the Polish international. Andy Melville's gone forward. Gets his ration of goals, does Melville, but he was marked, and well marked there, by another huge 6-footer, Leaburn. Kubicki again, crossed in, and off the crossbar, in fact. Well, Mike Salmon had given that up as going across the back of the goal and to safety.
There is an old saying, know your goal. He certainly knew it then. I thought it was in. I must admit, I thought that was in.
Kubicki. Melville won't get that. It'll be a goal kick.
That was quite amazing. He's obviously much more common than we are up here.
They're getting good crosses in from both flanks now. This is Kubicki, the Polish international. Extraordinary.
That was actually off Rufus, not the head of Rufus. And as I said, he's not kicking that very confident at all.
Phil Gray playing handball there. Referee decided no.
They have started off at a relentless pace.
Up towards Kelly. Free kick to Charlton. They'll be grateful for that. Scored a couple of times, Kelly, since he arrived from Wolverhampton.
He's very good at this level. There's no doubt about that. He's possibly a little bit short in the other one, but he can well handle this league.
He's chasing again. Mike Salmon's coming out. Ooh. Kelly was into him. Walsh trying to get to grips, gets a free kick. Little clash there with Paul Bracewell.
I think Charlton have got to try and up the pace a little bit now, Brian. They look as if they're the team settling back and expecting someone to come at them. I think quite the reverse. I think they've got to up the pace. And he's certainly worrying them, the keeper. I'm sure the injury has affected the whole defence. He doesn't look great at all to me.
Chapple with the free kick up towards Leaburn. Played in again for Mark Robson. And now for Walsh. Knocked in again. Let's try and keep it going, they're saying. Jamie Stuart getting it onto the left leg. Here's his cross. Just kept in play. Pressure from Leaburn on goalkeeper Chamberlain.
That's always a good sign early on. Just test the keeper. See if he's a little bit scared. Yes, it was a foul.
Up goes Chapple. Doesn't win it very convincingly in the air, but he's supported by Walsh. Bowyer made something happen there. Robson with a cross and a deep one. Oh, terrific goal by Sean Newton. Their first attack, and they've made it count.
Well, that was a classic goal. I know there's a few Sunderland players who'll be looking at this and wondering why they didn't challenge the ball. But this really is a classic cross and a magnificent header. Absolutely wonderful. What an amazing game.
Well,
had all the play and suddenly they're one down. Hope Charlton don't keep attacking it up, Brian. They better keep it up.
Well, Charlton were wondering how on earth they were going to get into the other half, how they're going to get out of their own penalty area for... Oh, the backward header! And nearly a disastrous mistake by Jamie Stuart, and Phil Gray was onto it like a flash, and we were so close then to the equaliser.
I think Colin Walsh is asking him there if he wants to...
this header again, a flyer.
I mean, that's
beautifully placed.
That's a good 12 yards out. What a great header. What a great cross. Cannot beat it.
It's Michael Gray again down the left flank. Scott getting it back. Forward back then to goalkeeper Chamberlain. Andy Melville. Darius Kubicki. Kubicki.
It'd be interesting how long it would take Sunderland to recover from that, because that was a real sucker punch.
Phil Gray knocked forward. Kubicki. Rufus is there too. And he's here again. Now Leaburn couldn't keep it in play. But he's had a good start to the season as well.
It certainly has.
7 goals so far.
Very underrated.
Here's Lee Bowyer. It's going to be another throw. Richard Rufus hitting it long. Gary Nelson's up there. Bowyer's trying to get in there again. Timed his jump well to get the header in. Now a free kick to Sunderland. Well, that was certainly a terrific goal by Sean Newton. His third of the season, wearing number 7 shirt. I've got a funny feeling wearing number 9 on his shorts.
That's probably for luck.
Maybe for luck. Well, it wasn't just luck, it was terrific skill. And here he goes again, no. So it's 7 on his shirt. Maybe on the other side of his shorts there's a number 9. We'll pick it up in a minute. We don't want to make a big deal of it. Scott now for Sunderland. There's Rufus. There's Bowyer as well. Number 5 is Kevin Ball. He'll keep things moving along in the midfield for Sunderland. And this man certainly keeps it moving down the left. Michael Gray. His cross cut out in the first instance though. Oh! And then a terrible muddle between Rufus and Salmon. Almost allowing Kelly in.
It looks as though he's moving very gingerly. He'll probably last, I think, me, Brian, until about half-time. I really think he'll come off, Mike Salmon. He looks very unsure.
Ord with that header clear for Sunderland. Rufus putting it where it's safe for Charlton. Michael Gray again. This is where the problem is. This is where the problem is. Kubicki keeping it going, playing a good early ball in there towards Phil Gray. Now Bracewell, challenged by Leaburn. Ball nicked away by Walsh and Robson between them, play on, and he gives it away straight to Ball. No foul, yes there was a foul by Walsh on Phil Gray.
He's took 1 or 2 heavy challenges, Phil Gray, and he's let the referee know. That was all untidy there. Certainly the little outside left, Michael Gray, looks very impressive. Very, very impressive.
Well, there are the 2 front men, Phil Gray, David Kelly. It's going to be the Pole, Kubicki. Now Scott playing it in. Back by Ord on that occasion. Kelly playing it now. Russell trying to get in there. Ball knocking it back again. Scott hitting it wide to where he knows good progress can be made through Michael Gray, but not on this occasion. It's a goal kick. 16 or so minutes gone. And good stuff.
It is very, very good indeed. Somebody told me before the game he didn't think there was going to be many goals in this one.
Yes, that was.
I honestly think there will be. I think there will be a few more. They've kept their nerves on them though. They've really still passing the ball around, and I would say the boy Gray at the moment is the biggest threat, the left winger, without any doubt.
seemed to me that Sunderland have built so much of their success, as good clubs should, on defence. They've conceded only 6 goals in 7 away games. I mean, that to me is an amazing record. And Charlton have been a little goal shy themselves, and that's really what I based my feeling on, that there wouldn't be that many goals in the game. I thought it'd be a good technical game, which I think it will be, but I doubt it's going to be a goal riot.
Probably right. Waste from John Humphreys there. I think Sunderland's main reason for a very good defence, I saw them in Ipswich, is that they passed the ball so well and give everybody time. I saw them lose 3-0 there. Yeah. They were outstanding.
I was talking to Peter Reid about that. He said he just couldn't believe that they conceded 3 goals. He gave them 2 days off on the strength of it. Go away and think about it, he said. Oh, this is a good little run here by Russell, turning it back nicely. And, well, Michael Gray has put it in for 1-1.
They really have deserved it, because they've been very, very good down on the flanks, both flanks. They've got in well there, Russell, there's no doubt about that, and made the goal for him.
So 1-1 it is. Terrific work here by Craig Russell. A miss there, but not there, as Michael Gray makes it 1-1.
Just asking Mike Salmon, little Jimmy Henry, exactly how he feels. I don't think he's actually moving as confident as he would. It makes everybody uncertain, you know. It's all right to say, I'm all right. I'm sure he feels all right, but he's not giving confidence to the people around him. I mean, they've deserved the goal, Sunderland, to be fair.
Without a doubt.
No doubt about it. There's been 3 crosses before then. I thought they were a little bit fortunate to get clearances on.
Bracewell, Melville, Chapple, Newton, Humphrey, to Newton, the scorer of the Charlton goal. Towards Nelson. Let's have a quick word down on the bench with Matthew Lorenzo.
Well, there's some concern here on the Charlton bench for the keeper Mike Salmon, who sustained a dead leg in the first challenge of the game, which has affected his ability to kick the ball and also to run. His goal kicks are not going anywhere near their normal distance, and Carl Leaburn has been advised to come in a bit for them. Before the goal there was concern. I suspect that Mike Ammann may be a feature of the game very shortly now, that goal having been scored.
Thank you, Matthew. Forward. Scott put the throw. Forward again to Nelson. Humphrey. For Leaburn. There's space over here for Robson, but they couldn't quite find him quickly enough.
He's worked quite hard off the ball, Robson. He found some very good positions, as he did for the goal. But Sunderland overplayed there a bit.
Yes, I get the feeling Mark Robson feels not aggrieved exactly, but a little out of sorts that he lost his place early on and just hasn't been able to get it back. I think he feels when he's come on as a sub, he's done quite well.
He's a very exciting lad, and he is that type of player. The actual cross, as I said, was first class, struck beautifully and headed even better. It's interesting, and it's lovely to see wing play. I love to see wing players, as you know. 1-to-1, go by.
That's right. Well, here's Colin Walsh. This is testimonial this year. Colin Walsh taking the corner. Oh, complete miskick there by Melville, I think it was. No, it wasn't. It was by Russell. Bracewell. Rufus getting back. Support from Newton. Put long towards Leaburn. Beaten by Ord in the air. Found Michael Gray again.
Very very good challenging Big Carl. He done really well there. I thought he might have given that up. Did very, very well. I think Paul Bracewell will have a massive influence on this. His passing and his awareness is absolutely terrific. The little lad Bowyer will learn a lot today.
Comes the corner. Played in short by Kevin Ball. Played in better that time. Leaburn with a header away for Charlton. Russell knocking it wide. Kevin Ball again. Here's Rufus. Wilson. Stuart. Bowyer.
Oh, he's missed out. It's a chance for Kelly.
My goodness, that was a terrible miss. The chance presented to him on a platter by Phil Chapple.
I think this was a foul, actually, Brian. He almost looked to be fouled him there to me.
I'm not so sure about that, Theo.
Terrific.
But that was a dreadful waste of a golden opportunity, wasn't it?
He certainly will regret that. I think Chappell's, yes, I think he felt he kicked him there. Maybe he's just appealing because he made the error. You cannot miss the target from there, can you? Dear me. Not when you're as good a scorer as David Kelly.
Well, it's a throw now for Charlton Athletic.
You can sense the Charlton defenders are all a little bit apprehensive. They're aware of the strength of this team.
Here's Newton at the other end. Right across the face. Gary Nelson was in there. Mark Robson was in there. It needed a touch, but it was just eluding them.
That was going too fast for anybody to get on. That was a shot, come across, and Derby ends up with nothing.
Kerbishley, the Charlton manager, on the bench. Up goes Chapple. Kelly again just gets the edge in the air. Rufus finding Humphrey. Bit long by him. Scott getting it clear. Humphrey up there again. Flag up for an offside against Gary Nelson. So Chamberlain. With the pick for Sunderland. Good jump by Phil Gray. Chapple. All at odds at the deepest part of the defence at the moment.
There's a very good movement from Gray and Kelly, and they've won good headers. At the other end, Melville and Ord have kept Leaburn and Gary Nelson very quiet. The service has been different.
So important for Sunderland they don't lose any more ground in that frenzied atmosphere and friendly atmosphere of football up in the northeast. With, I suppose, the catalyst of it all really was when Keegan got Newcastle going, and then Middlesbrough realised that they had to do it big as well, which they did with Brian Robson, both in the Premiership, wonderful stadia, and now Sunderland feel that they've got to get in on that act as well. Well, a place in the Premiership would be a start. There's Kubicki. That was a nice piece of play by him. This is Michael Gray again, down that left-hand side. Knocked it back again for Bracewell. He'll prod and he'll probe, and he finds Scott on the far side. I understand the goalkeeping substitution is going to take place, but Mike Salmon has lasted 25 minutes, and Ammann come on.
It's a bit of a shame that, because he obviously was confident in himself, but he didn't give confidence to the other people around him. There's no place on the field more worrying than goalkeeper. I can assure you that if your goalkeeper makes a mistake, you are in big, big trouble. And the crosses have come in, have caused problems all the way.
It's the big Californians' first game of the season. Charlton get it forward towards Nelson. Took a little bit of a juddering there from Ord. Back for Humphrey.
They are really trying to soak up a lot of pressure, Charlton. I don't know whether it's intentional or not, but they don't look as if they're playing with a great deal of confidence when the ball goes forward, you know? They look to me like as if they're happy to counter-attack. That's a very good ploy if you can get it to work all the while.
Phil Chapple in there. In the end, it was Sean Newton.
He's had one header and two very good, or not so good shots. I think, as I said early on, Brian, I think Lee Bowyer will gain a lot of experience today, because Paul Bracewell, who's actually playing against Colin Walsh, such an experienced player, and just passes the ball very simple. It's a great gift, you know. Simplicity is genius, I think.
Robson. Oh, he's picked a beautiful ball there to find Sean Newton. Knocked it back for Humphrey. Good movement here for Charlton. Bowyer's header didn't really get any purchase on it. But it's a Charlton throw. It just clipped off a Sunderland defender. Big Carl Leaburn will take it.
He's obviously going to launch one.
He's looked for Phil Chapple. He gets a corner, doesn't he?
Yes.
Richard Rufus going forwards, Sean Newton going back. Colin Walsh takes the corners here for Charlton. Floated in and came off Phil Chapple, but fell very comfortably for Alec Chamberlain. Now the chase is on. Phil Gray's there. Russell made a terrific break through the middle for him.
He did really well, Sean Newton. When the goalkeeper kicked the ball, he was about 30 yards back and he just made the run to put a great challenge on him there. That was a great bit of defending.
So this afternoon, Leicester City 1 goal up at West Brom. Scott Taylor, the former Reading man, has scored there. Oh, Nelson given offside. That must have been very touch and go. It looked to me almost as though Martin Scott was playing him on.
It was very late as well, I can tell you that. He certainly didn't moan.
I wonder whether we will see from this.
Yes.
There he was.
Yeah.
Linesman.
Spot on.
All out of play for a Charlton throw.
Isn't it nice to see teams come away from 1-1 and play with wide players who want to do the job, want to get by? Especially Michael Gray. It's impressed me a lot.
Mention of that West Brom Leicester game. There's 3 major games actually at the top of the first division of the NZ League today, with Birmingham and or rather yesterday and today. Birmingham and Millwall yesterday, of course, finished in a draw. This one here, and Leicester West Brom. And your team got a Southend got a draw at Watford yesterday.
Yes, we were in the lead twice, but we couldn't hold on, and in the end Simon Royce made 2 or 3 really good saves for us to keep it in there. We are on a little bit of a crest of a slump. We need a win now again. 2 home games, badly need a win. It's a very tight league.
It is a tight league.
These will be here. Sunderland will be there or thereabouts.
Stuart just getting ahead of Russell. Russell knocking it back for Kubicki. To Phil Gray, played for Kubicki again. Oh, and he flicked a lovely little ball out there, and he couldn't quite find David Kelly with it, but there was a bit of class about The opportunism there of Darius Kubicki, once with Legia Warsaw, incidentally. In fact, I saw him up at Blackburn this weekend, back with his old teammates, and seemed to be very happy to be with them again. He certainly did well.
That was a lovely ball, and David Kelly just didn't read it. I thought he might have shot himself there, to be honest. But marvellous.
Over 40 times for Poland, you know. Kubicki, this number 2, has real quality in his full-back play.
All the Sunderland players look very confident on the ball. That's probably, as I said, one of the reasons they looked so well defensively. They do keep the ball.
Bracewell handballing as he went past Bowyer.
You need a little bit of magic from him now, I think, Bowyer.
Walsh knocks it clear. Chamberlain with the clearance. Phil Gray bringing Michael Gray into it again. There's the cross by him. First real touch that Ammann has had. Safe handling, good throw. Sends Mark Robson forward. Leaburn's up there with him. Nelson's up there too. A little shuffle didn't fool Kubicki, but Walsh is following up. Walsh again. Foul that time by Kubicki. Ewan Roberts has now put Leicester City 2 up following that goal by Scott Taylor. And here we have Bowyer with the free kick for Charlton Athletic. Driven in there, straight against Bracewell, incidentally. Only Kelly up, but there are plenty trying to come up and join him now, but Rufus does his job well. Or rather, Sean Newton, I beg his pardon, does his job well. Here's Kelly. Bracewell. Melville. To Richard Ord. Martin Scott and Michael Gray. Well, a free kick there. The referee was twisting his head to look around one or two players. I'm not sure that he wasn't taken in by the player reaction rather than what he actually saw.
I think he was trying to play an advantage, to be honest. I think it backfired.
But he's given a free kick in any case. Michael Gray with it. Melville's up from the defence. So was Ord as well. He very nearly got in there. And they muddled that one away. Charlton, not very successfully. Bracewell putting it back into that area. Bowyer. Has played him down the line, but Scott gets it back to keeper Chamberlain. Newton coming in. Charlton's throw. But they're looking decidedly second best at the moment, Theo.
And I'm still a little bit disappointed, Brian, that haven't really gone at them. They seem to me, as I said, like as if they're going to soak the pressure up, and Sunderland are gaining in confidence all the time. Very, very good pass inside. We played against them up there, but to come here and play in the manner in which they are tells the confidence that they've got, and rightly so with the results, I suppose. They only lost one away from home, haven't they?
That's right.
You're great, all those statistics that you have. I'm not too good at that. Lost to Ipswich, obviously.
They just have to hope, above all else, that they don't get a penalty to win this game, because Peter Reid was saying they've missed 7 of their last 8. It's the one thing they haven't got right this season. I think it's something like missing 4 out of 5 this season, 7 out of 8 overall.
That's amazing, isn't it? From 12 yards out.
Bracewell. holding off Robson. Melville gets it back, points to Scott on the far side, but no, it's played back to the Welsh international. Up to Paul Bracewell.
I just feel Charlton are sitting back, you know, at the back, because of the fact that Sunderland are keeping the ball. And watch there was a 40-yard gap. We just played comfortably back to the keeper. He kept the ball. They don't look panicky at all at the back, you know, and there's not many sides who come in and do that. Whereas I think the Charlton defenders are a little bit afraid to push up. They look that way to me anyway. Making the line too far back.
Chamberlain's ball. A throw out for Russell. Quickly confronted by Jamie Stuart. Melville. Kubicki.
That was a ball he didn't want from the centre off.
You see how as he fell, he was looking daggers at Andy Melville. Stuart might get in there. Gets a corner at any rate. Conceded by Paul Bracewell. Was the first to show. Bracewell trying to hold off Walsh. Will come for Stuart. He's got Robson supporting him, but the ball's out of play. I think the average home gate here last season was over 10,000. They've really come to life here since they got back to the Valley, and it's a nice stadium to come to. Very sensibly today, their concessions, I think it's £7 or £6 for adults, whether you're sitting in the central or behind the goal position. Well, it's encouraged a few people to come.
That's good news. The more people we get, the better. And it is a lovely place. Still got great memories for everybody, including me.
Bracewell. Kubicki.
Sunderland haven't really left a player on their own all the time. Everybody's been comfortable on the ball because he had options. Charlton, I think, have got it up and back, you know, got the goal, but they haven't really passed it to one another with great confidence. For a side, it's had a very good run.
Kubicki with the throw for Sunderland. For Phil Gray, might be Michael Gray. In the end, it's Sean Newton who gets it away. Up to Leaburn. Little ball now releasing Bowyer. So the Charlton fans like to see that young man in full flight. Walsh threading a superb ball onto the far side to Gary Nelson. Back it comes again to Sean Newton. This is a bit of movement now by Chelsea. Walsh will try a long-range shot. Just wide of the Sunderland goal.
It was a long way out, but it was a very good shot.
But it was a lovely move leading up to it. A lot of good, sensible passing play.
There was 4 or 5 players involved, and obviously that's where they're going to get the confidence from. Big Leaburn starting it off very, very well. Your young Lee Bowyer makes some very good runs, penetrating runs from there. Interesting to see how, as I said, he'll learn from this particular game.
Newton there first, being hustled by Michael Gray. Humphrey getting it forward. Okay. Kubicki again. Cleared the ground with that pass. Robson finds a way clear. There's a foul by Kelly. on Walsh. Free kick to Charlton. A little over 3 minutes to half time. Jamie Stuart with it. Know these Charlton youngsters and making the best use of it. Straight to Michael Gray. Rufus putting the ball away for a Sunderland throw now. Chapple, once of Cambridge United. And now Kubicki, once of Legia Warsaw. Oof. Brought down by Stuart there. So free kick now. 6 or 7 yards out. To the right.
I might just test the new keeper here.
Kevin Ball, a pretty thunderous shot in his locker. Michael Gray also looks as though he might fancy a little bit at it. It's Ball playing it to the far side. And in the end, stumbling as he fell.
That was a very good free kick.
Rufus had to put it behind. It was, wasn't it?
It was a very good free kick. I thought we were going to have a shot there as well, but it was a very well worked one.
Ball going across to take it. Melville at the near post. Kelly also on the goal line. It's floating in. Keeper had it but lost it. Still ricocheting there. Sean Newton in the end gets it away up towards Robson. Comes to Phil Gray. Melville hadn't gone back. Rufus gets it clear. Now maybe he'll have to go back. Foul on Bowyer. Free kick.
He's very determined in the tackle, isn't he? I've not seen him play since he was a youth, but he's a very determined boy in the tackle.
Who, Bowyer?
Yes, he certainly puts himself in there. You don't get all them goals unless you do that and run all over the place.
Side, to use the old footballing phrase, he's got a terrific engine on him, young Bowyer. This guy hasn't got a bad one either. Gary Nelson, who's been going a few years now.
If you look after that engine, it'll keep going. We used to say, just be very fit.
Not sure what that was about.
I think they just appealed for the offside and somebody went on there.
Just talking after the game on Wednesday night at Blackburn with Terry Venables about just this thing about players looking after themselves and keeping themselves in good condition. The incentive is greater than it ever was because the earning power is so high, even if you're 33, 34, 35, 36. It can mean the difference of the highest level, maybe £750,000, as well as 3 or 4 good years of playing good sport. Incentives have never been higher to keep yourself in good trim.
It's never a punishment to play. That's always I always believe.
And certainly there are players here on this field today, like Bracewell, as you say, like John Humphrey and Gary Nelson, Colin Walsh, well into the 30s and have kept themselves in really good trim, probably enjoying the game as much now as ever.
I'm sure they are. They're lucky men to be still playing. They wasted a lot of the free kicks, Charlton, like that. There's 5 or 6 very, very good free kicks they wasted.
And overall a good first 45 minutes, which saw Charlton Athletic go into the lead with that flying header from Sean Newton. And then the guy maybe who's been more impressive than anybody else in this first half, Michael Gray, snatching the equaliser for Sunderland. Plenty more to come, but at half-time here at the Valley, it's Charlton 1, Sunderland 1. Welcome back to the Valley. Ready now for the start of the second half. One apiece, with a lot riding on it really to get into those top 6 positions. Charlton, let me remind you, in the red shirts attacking the goal to our right. The referee unhappy, checking the ball. Pressure for some reason. Leaburn. Walsh there with big Carl Leaburn, and Robson's there as well. Leaburn with the overhead.
That really wasn't a bad effort. I thought he might have got a header, but he didn't seem to read it right. It's a good ball, and then he does very well on this one. But unlucky that. There's a little bit stereo there when it comes in. There's not enough players in there, I think, for a start. There was only 2 there and there when the ball was crossed. Got to get more players in the area.
Rufus had it knocked off the top of his head there by Phil Gray. Here comes Sunderland again. Michael Gray. Sean Newton's obviously been told to come back and help John Humphrey on those runs. Concedes the free kick to Sunderland though.
He's worked really hard, Sean Newton. Off the ball, I think, has been one of the hardest working players for Charlton.
Well, here's Gray with the free kick for Sunderland. Not a very good one, but might actually finish up in a rather dangerous position. It was Kelly, in fact, who knocked it back over for the goal kick.
He just scuffed the free kick. He just didn't get through it at all. He got lovely left foot, the lad. Never got through it. I think Charlton have just got to up it now. I think the crowd are getting behind them a little bit more. Probably a little bit disappointed that they felt they would have come out and had a goal. I mean, that's just good.
Leaburn didn't control it well enough. Ball has had a considerable influence on that midfield again, alongside Bracewell. And there was a foul by Stuart. And he was guilty of one foul, certainly a strong one in the first half, and the referee, I think, looked hard at it and thought, well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but I think felt this on this second occasion that it warranted the yellow card. So a free kick then. Michael Gray will take. Melville's up. Ward also up, the number 8. Kelly's made a good little break in there. Walsh riding his luck there, and here's Bowyer with one of those breaks, and he played it just a little bit too far behind Sean Newton. It wasn't the best of balls, and they're trying to keep it going now with Mark Robson, and there's the cross coming in, not a very good one, and Sunderland close the door again. Tries to play an advantage there, delayed his whistle for just a moment, the referee, and in the end had to blow for the free kick to Sunderland.
That really was a poor pass from Bowyer. If he'd have been anywhere decent, anywhere in front of him at all, it would have given him a great chance, Sean Newton, to get in. And in fact, then the next ball from him wasn't much better. That was a very good break. They've certainly got an overload on him there. Charlton seemed to be starting a little bit more spirited.
Chamberlain with the free kick for Sunderland. Newton. Rufus. Walsh. Now Gray gets it away again. Got such pace. Shields that ball nicely on that left leg. Whips in the cross, but Humphrey had got back. Another corner for Sunderland. I'd say where people have been saying to us, Theo, they are the best side in the league. They've been really impressive so far this afternoon. It's a good basis for an argument that they are the best in the league.
They probably are. Them and Leicester, I think, will be there and thereabouts. You can see the difference of keeper, though, already, even with little things like that, where he's just come out and took the ball. The other lad wasn't happy at all. A very, very confident side, there's no doubt about that.
Ammann with the clearance. Sunderland throw. Kelly turning Chapple well, trying to get Russell in. Oh, that was an excellent piece of defending by young Jamie Stuart.
He actually lost the goal that way. That was good defending. I thought he'd be a bit afraid of giving another free kick away. A penalty in there. Terrific.
And also he's a young man on a yellow card as well, so that would have also gone through his mind. Walsh knocks this forward. Nelson willingly chasing. But Melville makes the clearance, Charlton get a throw, but there's a good feeling about the game still. 1-1, a lot to play for. Jamie Stuart with the throw. Charlton have a big cup tie here on Wednesday against Wolves in the Coca-Cola, a replay.
There again, there's only Gary Nelson in the box. Big Carl Leaburn's wide of the box there. That's been a problem for him. When Sunderland have got the ball in the box, they've had 2 or 3 players in there. They still look in control.
Sean Newton. Bracewell hammering it away. Chapple with the header back again. Ball finding Phil Gray. Upended there by Rufus. Yellow card.
Lads are funny, really. They know that this is a foul. They know instantly that this is a foul and a booking. And you know,
what a daft place to commit it. I mean, what possible danger was there in that situation?
Nowhere at all. But I mean, I'm amazed that players start to appeal then. I haven't been a player myself. I've been in that situation. Yeah, I would have a tackle, but if you know that it's wrong, you just cannot do it. You can't keep doing it, that's for sure.
So Martin Scott with the free kick. Chapple and Walsh between them. Half get it away. Ball. Charlton fans getting a little frustrated.
You went in very heavy there on young Lee.
Kubicki. And Phil Gray just glancing at that one. Humphrey getting it away. Only Gary Nelson is up. He's taken a bang from Andy Melville. Up goes Rufus again. Battling away against Kelly. Bracewell knocking it wide. Here's Kubicki.
You'll find as the game goes on, Brian, that Paul Bracewell's influence on the game will be tremendous. His passing and his control, his willingness just to receive the ball and play it calmly.
I mean, look at that. He's made, in the last 30 seconds, he's made 3 quite simple passes, all perfectly accurate. Humphrey.
Which goes back to your age, Ben. He's just looked after himself. He's always been a good player, and he's just proven it again and again.
Kelly, some nice touches here again from Sunderland. Taking on Humphrey. It's a corner.
They've actually dropped the pace, Kelly and Gray, to what they were early on. He's moaned a little bit, Phil Gray, with a couple of challenges for some reason, but he does work very, very hard for the team. Very good player for me.
Ball will take the corner again. Michael Gray we saw waiting. Very wide one towards, and Gray got the head on it as well, and it was Leaburn. Emergency action in his own 6-yard area, and now a chance for Charlton to break. Again, they're working very hard, Sunderland. They got people back very quickly again behind that ball. Here's Humphrey for Charlton. Sean Newton. Walsh to Leaburn. Bowyer's gone through the middle for him. Leaburn can spot Robson on the far side. In for Walsh. Work here for Newton to do. Faced by Michael Gray.
That was a nice bit of football. 8 or 9 good passes there. Carl Leaburn did very, very well. That was a give and go. The job that Humphreys didn't go.
Well, if he'd gone, he hadn't got much chance really of making it, had he, to be fair.
But you have to go before you got a chance.
Rufus knocked it in. Now, can Leaburn upset them here? Can Gary Nelson upset them here? He got his header in.
They were very poor there, the two central defenders, Ord and Melville, which has been unusual for them. See, Leaburn is a bit of a problem there. Once it gets anywhere in that aerial zone, he is a danger. Underrated for me there.
It's twice you've said that this afternoon. I mean, a lot of people see him as, okay, he's got 7 goals this season. He's a lanky lad who was obviously very valuable in the air. But in what way, in the moment, you must tell me, is he underrated? Here we come. Rufus gets it back. Oh. And this kick there by Ammann.
I think a lot of people look at his goal scoring and don't look at all the other aspects of his play and how many goals he perhaps makes for other people. His mere presence and his height alone is a terrific advantage.
This is Leaburn we're talking about.
Yes, this is Leaburn. I'm not his agent.
Well, here's the throw for Sunderland.
They've actually come off the boil a little bit, Sunderland. I don't know whether they didn't want the half-time to come or not because they were playing so well, but or else Charlton have upped it a little bit. I feel that Charlton have upped it. They've kept the ball a lot more than they did in the early stages of the game, and probably made 1 or 2 little overtures at half-time, Alan, obviously, and sorted 1 or 2 things out. Paul has kept Lee Bowyer very quiet for me, Brian, and Bracewell, as I said, with the other man, Walsh, is a real battle going on there, a battle of wits.
Leaburn. Knocked forward by Walsh. Cleared by Melville. Somehow kept in play by Sunderland, up towards Nelson. Played back this time by Melville. Up goes Chapple, wins that one comfortably enough in the air. Leaburn takes it down well. A little back heel, lets in Walsh. Robson on the far side, using their wings well, Charlton, keeping 2 men wide, or fairly wide. Certainly Robson's hugging that touchline on the far side. And Jamie Stuart.
He just overplayed there, which is a bit of a shame. I'd have rather seen Robson go on his own instead of playing it inside to Colin Walsh. I mean, that's what I think early on the lad Gray was doing at Michael Gray. He was going at people, and he stopped doing that because he's not been getting the ball.
Linesman's flag up.
I can't see that, you know, Brian. If he's not really involved in the play, should encourage the game to go on. Or just bumped into the big car leader and he wouldn't give him the ball. And I don't think they're just too friendly to one another. I think Sunderland have really dropped the pace now, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly taken their time over this free kick for the start, which is very indicative of the whole thing. Chamberlain up towards Phil Gray. Here's Michael Gray. Chapple's header. Scott. Stopped by Rufus. Now Newton. Ball wins it. Oh, a lovely bit of play there by Michael Gray. But it's just out of play. And certainly all credit to Sean Newton. He made it very, very difficult for him indeed down that line.
He's worked really hard. He really has. He's really doubled up, as you say early on, Brian, against John Humphreys. You know, against that threat, he's done very, very well.
Bracewell turning away from trouble, trying to turn away from trouble. There's a ball that wasn't a very easy one for Ord to take. Charlton get possession. Nelson running into 5 players there.
That was very, very scrappy, but it was really hard work for Charlton to win the ball back there.
Bracewell again, ever available, played every game this season after an early part of his career that was really badly hit by serious leg injuries. Bowyer crossing it in for Charlton towards big Carl Leaburn. His strength took him through there. John Humphrey playing it wide now for Sean Newton. Gray will get there. And so will Rufus here. Chapple, given away there for Phil Gray. But they win it back again with Walsh. Leaburn. Chested down, Bowyer. Chapple. Robson given away this time. Kelly. Oh, my goodness, Ammann clearing that straight to Craig Russell.
That was tight.
Well, I think that having looked at it once or twice, he doesn't seem happy on these back passes, big Mike Ammann. I think if I was Sunderland, I would, every time the ball went back to him, I'd sort of put somebody on to hound him.
Used to spin down.
Now that's a better ball. Robson playing it wide for Newton, and now for Humphrey. He'll play it in early and quick. Robson's on the far side. Big Carl Leaburn in there with a header. The crowd hadn't heard the whistle. I confess I hadn't heard the whistle. I wondered what on earth Andy Melville was doing, but the whistle had gone for the free kick, and he certainly took it quickly.
Little Robson pushed Big Melville in the back.
Is that what it was?
Just put the ball down and took it out. I was surprised when he handled it, mind you. I don't think I'd have liked it either. Sunderland have definitely dropped the pace, or have Charlton got that much better? I think Charlton have definitely come out more fired up in this half. No doubt about it.
Craig Russell. Played in for Kubicki. Paul Bracewell. Kelly. And it's Ammann's ball. Just eluded Phil Gray. And the throw out releases Sean Newton. Bowyer's inside here. Walsh is inside.
Walsh wanted Jamie Stuart to come out there. There was so much room. He just sat in, didn't come out. Robson ran away. It's more of a contest now.
Bowyer. Chapple. Lost his feet, lost his confidence a little bit there, and was perhaps fortunate that he was fouled, or felt that he was fouled, and heard the whistle. John Humphrey with a free kick. Leaburn will be one of the targets. Chapple now right up there will be another one, 6'2". Bowyer, have to watch him also, looking for Chapple. Kubicki having no dangers, no troubles at all, banging that one away. The crowd, 11,626 here at the Valley today. It's a good crowd, one of their best of the season. A lot of youngsters here as well. They believe in bringing in the youngsters. I was told earlier about the junior Charlton Reds, 1,300 of them. Shot well saved. 4,000 involved in a community scheme, all that sponsored by London Electricity. Really getting their act together here down at the Valley. That was a good effort by Bowyer.
Got to get those young people into football grounds and then let them behave themselves.
Nelson. Newton. Oh, it went for him nicely. And in the end, it was Melville who charged it away for the Charlton corner.
He's done well, Gary Nelson, you know. In this half particularly, he's held the ball up very, very well for me. Brought other players into play. They might score in one of these set plays, you know, Charlton. I fancy they might.
Walsh with the corner. Floated on. Bowyer getting in. Played wide again. What a good ball. Played by Sean Newton, who knocked in again, just too high for Richard Rufus.
If he'd have overhit that, Colin, Big Carl Leaburn was all on his own at the far stake, but it was a great ball in, but it was only at one player. Big Carl was waiting there. But they have played much better this half, haven't they, Charlton? Much, much better. Sunderland, in fact, have gone a little bit into a shell, not really been able to get out.
Still one apiece. With about 25 minutes left. Scott hitting it long. Rufus with the header clear. Kevin Ball. Rufus again. Towards Gary Nelson, beaten by Richard Ord in the air. Phil Gray tussling with Colin Walsh. Leaburn wins in the air. Good defending again. Ord that time. Charlton throw. Just chesting it down. Walsh tried to keep it going, tried to find Mark Robson just on the edge of the box. Definitely in territorial terms, Charlton having much the better of this second half, as Theo was saying.
Sunderland can't get out now. That was a bad tackle. That was a very bad tackle.
Kevin Ball?
Yeah, very, very bad tackle. He can moan, but it was a bad tackle. He got sent off against us. He can be guilty, you know. But that was a bad tackle. He's going nowhere except to foul the play. And he knows it, and still he appeals. That's what they call controlled aggression, boy. Many of us left have it. I didn't have it.
You say he was sent off against Southampton?
Yes, he was.
Let's have a word with Matthew Lorenzo.
Well, I spoke to Alan Curbishley a moment ago, Brian, and he said that he wasn't too happy with his side. He started off by saying that they were being outclassed and then qualified that to outrun. He impressed upon them at half-time. They had to match Sunderland for pace, and he's not happy that they're doing that. He said Sunderland are doing to them what they normally do to other sides. He also said that the loss of goalkeeper Mike Salmon had unsettled his team.
Thank you, Matthew. Yes, it's quite clear that the wallpaper and the paint must have been blistering in that Charlton dressing room at half-time, because it's a much different looking Charlton, a much more aggressive looking Charlton in this second half. But now some defending to be done as David Kelly takes it up. He's got Phil Gray in there as well. And Jamie Stuart got it away. It was Bracewell with the volley. Mike Gray.
He's done marvellous for me, little Sean Newton. He really has. He's controlled Michael Gray now in this half. He's hardly done anything at all. Perhaps a little bit defensive. Defensive, looking more to go forward, but he's done terrific. His work rate's terrific.
Leaburn gets it back to Humphrey, hits it long again towards Sean Newton, but he hadn't seen Andy Melville just ahead of him. Charlton's throw. Humphrey to Walsh, and out of Nelson. Humphrey again. Won't reach Leaburn. Kubicki has his clearance charged down by Bowyer. Michael Gray. This is where the danger so often comes, and you'll notice that Humphrey's backpedaling, and you'll notice too how quickly Sean Newton has come up to add a bit of support, but he's still banged in his cross, but he was put under pressure by good solid defensive play by John Humphrey here, and the support that was always coming up from young Sean Newton.
He's forcing them into pressure to cross the ball. That's the difference, and Michael Gray is well aware that he has to take Humphreys and, as you said, Sean Newton right in behind him. He hasn't hardly got a crossing this time. Early on he got about 6. Most goals are scored from crosses. People don't believe that. But Charlton have played really well now the last 30-35 minutes of the game.
Both today have come from crosses, of course, haven't they?
Yes.
I think Charlton about to make another substitution. Keith Jones looks likely to come on. He's had some troubles with injury lately, but scored a couple of goals in a reserve game in midweek.
I wouldn't think Alan Kubicki would be thinking about tightening it up unless he's just making a midfield substitution again, Brian, because they're certainly on top.
Foul going against Charlton, which angered their fans. The substitutions, in fact, it's a double substitution. Both Keith Jones and Kim Grant are coming on, and the next stoppage in play occurs. Bracewell, Kubicki, Chapple finds Robson, who I think might be one who's going off. Finds Robson again. Nelson. Stuart. Now the substitution can be made. It's going to be Mark Robson and Lee Bowyer who are going off. Ken Grant, 3 goals to his credit already this season on the right there. And Keith Jones, number 12, coming on. So Charlton now have got all their substitutes on.
Can only think that the lad Bowyer's had an up there and they probably felt it was a good time to take him off. Little Robson hasn't done what he did early on, got crosses in, so that's a justifiable one as well. And they may well feel they can win it as well now.
What they've done is they've just dropped Gary Nelson a little bit on the left-hand side, put Kim Grant up alongside Carl Leaburn.
He's got a little bit of pace, Kim Grant, more than Gary Nelson.
Oh, here's Phil Gray at the moment. With Michael Gray has made a good run into the box, but Phil Chapple got there first. But a Sunderland corner.
Isn't it strange how Sunderland suddenly have lost a lot of confidence from that?
It's almost though, Theo, isn't it, that if you start dropping your pace and so on, it's very hard to pick it up again when you're being pressed as Charlton are pressing them now.
It's impossible. The other thing is Charlton have got more confident, as I said, defensively. They've come out because they've been well aware that the ball's been retained at the front. And it's a major difference, really. Probably people at home can't see it as good as we can here. At least I hope so.
Here comes the Charlton, the Sunderland corner, floated in. Be another one.
It's been a very poor day for set plays. I don't think I've seen so many poor set plays for a long while from both teams.
Michael Gray with this one again. Leaburn's header clear. Bracewell. Charlton throw. Taken by Nelson in his new midfield role for this game. At any rate, now he's going to leave it for Jamie Stuart. Gray getting behind them. Rufus doing a good job. Stuart turned well. Leaburn. Walsh playing it forward towards Grant. Corner given.
He got himself in such a tangled edge. He didn't use his right foot.
And I
Just
tell you,
would not use his right foot.
And once he got himself into a tangle, Kim Grant was going to make absolutely sure he didn't get out of it.
I think that bit of pace that Kim Grant has could have unsettled those two, Melville and Ord, who've coped very well up until now with the pressures.
Well, here comes another corner for Charlton. That's a better one, floated in. It was Rufus with the header. Jones. It's another corner.
I fancy them on a set play. I think they might score one, Charlton, on a set play.
Walsh will take this one. Kim Grant at the near post. Phil Chapple right in there. Alec Chamberlain, the goalkeeper, with Kubicki alongside him. I know that this could be an important moment in the game. As Leaburn really launched himself at it. The keeper with a fist that only gets it as far as Walsh. Turned back in again, but charged down by Bracewell. Good play by Humphrey. Now Walsh looking for a good ball in again. Finds Leaburn with it, knocks it back towards Rufus. But Melville got that away. Ball gets that one away. Nelson did well, just held it up. Phil Gray knocked sideways here this time for David Kelly. Bracewell trying to get it back for Kelly.
Since he's early missed David Kelly, he's lost a lot of confidence in his general play. I thought early on he was lively, had to miss, and he hasn't really been confident at all.
Just to let you know, there's a women's international match here on November the 19th, the Sunday. Kick-off at 2 o'clock when England, in a European Championship qualifier, play the ladies from Croatia. The ladies have already drawn 1-1 with Italy. So it's an important game here. November the 19th, kick-off 2 p.m. Here's Humphrey. Up to Grant. Trying to twiddle that between the legs of Michael Gray. It didn't come off, but Rufus plays the ball now to try and get the pace of Grant, and he almost got it in for Leaburn until Andy Melville got it away for the corner.
There's been a threat with that bit of pace, hasn't there? They were very, very comfortable, Melville and Orton. Suddenly they've been disrupted now. It's been all Charlton the whole second half.
You just get the feeling that by a change of attitude, Sunderland have brought an awful lot of it on themselves. But it's still 1-1. Deep one again to big Carl Leaburn.
Doesn't get a lot of punch on those headers for a big man. I don't know whether he comes in on them too early. Got his head on that cleanly, but didn't really punch it or direct it, which is the major part of heading it home.
Goal kick then, which Chamberlain will take. Good career he had at Colchester, then up to Everton and Tranmere. Had something like 5 years at Luton as well. Sunderland look as though they are looking to make a substitution. I think it's going to be Craig Russell. He gets hooked off now.
He has been very quiet, and Craig Russell, there's no doubt about that.
And it's young Sam Aiston, who's coming on, 18 years old, just signed a 2.5-year contract. Peter Reeve was telling me before the game with these 18-year-olds, of course, that's what he said, he could be anything. But he obviously, underneath it all, thinks he could be a good talent down wide on that right-hand side at the moment. Well, here he comes, making a very, very fair impression straight away. He's got a bit of pace about him.
I saw him come on at Ipswich, and that's exactly what he looked like. Exactly what Peter said.
He could be anything, he says.
Yeah. But it is lovely to see wingers coming into it and being so positive. That's what I like.
Rufus got it away. Bracewell playing it in to Phil Gray again, towards David Kelly. Humphrey clears it for Charlton, up towards Kim Grant. He's beaten in the air though by Ord. Gray. Again, every time Gray attacks, Sean Newton is back there supporting. Knocked in this time by Scott. Walsh gets it clear. A delicate little play there for Keith Jones. Good play by Newton. Knocks it wide for Finn Grant rather. Free kick given. Whistle's gone.
They put that little bit of fear into the Sunderland defenders. They look so confident in the first half. They don't look so confident now.
Newton. Humphrey to Rufus. Leaburn losing it. Here's Kubicki. Leaburn struggling to get back there. The crowd enjoyed that bit of effort.
That's marvellous. That's good defending for a forward.
This is what 80 minutes of the game gone, and the big Carl Leaburn running some 40 or 50 yards back to make good a mistake that he made. And here's Kim Grant now trying to force an error into that Sunderland defence. But did you notice how many were around him all the time? Terrific teamwork in the Sunderland side, but still 1-1. Kelly racing on this one. Support from Michael Gray. Phil Gray inside the box, still with Michael, but he was stopped by Chapple. Still Sunderland though. Richard Ord. Jones just poking it back. Chapple knocking it forward, but Grant outnumbered. You're going to have to think about a man of the match very shortly, you know.
Yes, I certainly will. Got one or two in mind.
Good.
Probably won't agree with him, Luke, I know. I think he's done very well, Rufus, by the way, as well.
Yes, he has.
Oh, very well.
I think he was man of the match last week. I think Ray Clements chose him last week at Luton.
I won't give it to him then.
Now, what's Ammann going to do there? Nasty one. Had to be dealt with.
I would think Peter would be a bit disappointed, you know, the fact that they've not really tested Ammann. He probably wouldn't be expecting even to be a sub, and he comes in and finds himself that.
Michael Gray with a corner. Took it very well, because he stumbled just a fraction on his way to it.
I thought he just got underneath that, but he did marvellous in the end.
Just a little stumble there, just as he started to air.
Yeah. Very good hands. Got his hands on it, which is all that matters.
Leaburn. Nelson. To Kim Grant. A corner for Charlton. Time running out. About 7 minutes left.
There's some good headers at the ball in there, you know.
Well, Leaburn's up there. Rufus is known to get a header or two in. Chapple certainly.
No second ball. Nobody on the second ball at all.
Bit of obstruction there actually by Phil Gray on John Humphrey. Free kick to Charlton.
He's got very frustrated, Phil Gray, mainly because he hasn't had a really good service, nor has David Kelly, who I feel has been disappointed with himself because he missed that great chance. They haven't been as impressive as they were early on. But the little outside left has been the big problem, because he was terrific, Michael Gray, early on. Terrific. I think Alan Corbett will be very, very happy with what's happening in the second half. He'll probably only video the match and watch the second half, but
that's it. Well, let's see. There's still time enough for it all to go wrong. It's a free kick to Sunderland. A little under 6 minutes remaining. Making no ground there. It's with Walsh. It was Bracewell who hustled him into that mistake, and it's Bracewell who picks it up here again, but this time it falls for a Charlton player, Carl Leaburn. Humphrey. Rufus. Oh, complete miss kick. Phil Gray's in here. Oh my goodness. Each of the Charlton central defenders have presented them with the perfect gift. Chapple to Kelly in the first half, Rufus now to Gray in the second half, and both times Sunderland have completely missed the opportunity.
How can you have an air shot and miss from 12 yards? I just can't believe that with Kelly already. Great. It's unbelievable, those misses. They must hit the target. Whatever else, you must hit the target. Just cannot believe it. No wonder Peter's gone
best not pleased, yeah.
No wonder he goes grey like me. Oh, I thought that was a certainty. What a miss. It's almost unbelievable that, you know, to miss from 12 yards, two people who actually are very good strikers at this level, to miss the target by a long way.
I saw them at Crystal Palace earlier this season. They missed 2 penalties there and they won it by a single goal in the end, but they've made life very difficult for themselves, and they've done it here as well.
You handle that back pass better.
Kubicki.
See, suddenly Sunderland have started throwing the ball away. In the first half they were so confident. I'm sure Peter would be very disappointed with that, because he always encourages people to play. That's how we play.
There's time for this match to be won yet, you know.
I think you're going to be right about the goals as well, Brian, which will please you. Should have kept my mouth shut, shouldn't I?
Stuart up to Grant. Walsh now to Nelson. Stuart pumping it forward towards Grant, but Melville had gone with him.
The cameras have hardly gone the other half of this particular game, have they?
That's right.
Hardly been down there. Proves what a point confidence plays in football. Confident to do what you're supposed to do.
That's a throw. Grant. That's a goal kick. So, do you want to talk about the man of the match then, Theo?
Yes.
Just give us a couple of the contenders before you actually come to the actual man you've nominated.
I thought big Carl Leaburn did very, very well for the team, particularly off the ball as well. He's worked really hard. Rufus done superb until he's had that air shot. And I'm going to give it to one man because I think he's been terrific, not only with his goal, but his work rate's been superb. Completely stifled Michael Gray out here and helped John Humphreys to play a lot more.
And there he is.
There he is.
Sean Newton.
Correct. I don't like the way they spell his name, but don't worry about that.
You prefer the S-E-A-N, do you?
Correct. I've got one of them at home.
Right. Yeah, he's had a terrific game. You're quite right. I love the way he supported his fullback when Michael Gray's been looking very, very dangerous. It's been a good all-round performance by him. I'll tell you another one who's impressed me, apart from obviously Michael Gray on the Sunderland side, but I think also Kubicki, the right fullback's been a real classy player right through this game.
They've had several players, particularly early on. Again, Paul Bracewell, I still think is an outstanding player for everybody to look at. But I think Charlton overall would be very disappointed in the fact that the second half they've had all of it and haven't really done enough to win the game for me. Although they've created good chances, they've not really been enough in it for them. It's amazing the transformation. People at home probably don't appreciate as much as we are here.
Chamberlain with the clearance. Goes Grant, but it's one in the air by Richard Ord.
It's number 7, Sean Newton.
Grant. Bang forward again, but only Phil Gray is there. Good header by Chapple that time. The man of the match dumped to the floor there by Kevin Ball. As Sunderland come forward for one last flurry. Phil Gray's getting in there and very nearly did. Goal kick.
He's had a few little late tackles, Kevin Ball. I'm all in favour of aggression in midfield, but I don't like people who have late tackles. And he's had one there again. You just watch.
Sean Newton felt the full weight of it. I think the referee's probably saying to him, look, if you want a bit of treatment, you better go off. In any case, I'm going to blow the whistle in a couple of seconds. It's a Charlton throw. Have you enjoyed it, Theo?
I have indeed, yeah. I've been very impressed with Sunderland in the first half. And in the second half, I've been equally impressed with Charlton. I felt that he started very cautiously for reasons I don't know. Perhaps they were a little bit nervous of the whole thing. But confidence was oozing in the Sunderland team with the goal and with everything that happened. And then suddenly they've just gone into a shell. I just can't believe it. And it's probably down to the fact that Charlton have worked so hard to achieve what they've done. They really have. Look at that man, Bracewell.
Bracewell, 2 little touches again.
There's your man, the right back, did very well. Sunderland will be there though. They'll be there or thereabouts. Don't worry about that.
As long as they don't get too many penalties or too many open goals to shoot at. I mean, the 2 chances they've missed today have been incredible. But there's Gray going in with a header. Just wide.
That was amazing. I just can't believe that. I probably think Gray's was much easier than Kelly's, you know, because it actually rolled right across from there. I hate to say it, but I think I'd have scored it. Oh, you're laughing.
No, I know you're exaggerating. Here's the goal kick, which Charlton will take, and that's the last kick of an entertaining 90 minutes that finishes level with Sean Newton with that early goal, man of the match as well, a flying header, equalled by the one from Michael Gray. And I think a lot of people also will go away. That's his first goal of the season, incidentally, for Sunderland. I think a lot of people nonetheless will be going away thinking about those incredible misses by David Kelly in the first half and by Phil Gray in the second that might well have brought the full point to Sunderland. As it was, it finishes in a 1-1 draw. The final score, Charlton Athletic 1, Sunderland 1. And our man of the match is heading towards the dressing room, but also heading in that direction is Alan Kirbishley. He's with Matt Lorenzo and the man of the match.
Sean, congratulations, man of the match. Not much doubt about that one.
I thought the game was a bit hard today, like top of the table as well, clash sort of. But we battled well, and it's good to get a point.
You needed to be fit out there today.
Yeah, fit, but the whole team played well. We passed the ball well in the second half. I think if we can get more goals, the back four are doing well, I think we'll be able to win games much easily.
OK, while you receive your trophy, let's have a word with the manager. You said that you were being outrun at half-time.
No, I felt that they stunned us. They're 2 wide men causing us loads of problems. And it's a thing of this league at the moment, that teams are playing better away from home. And Sunderland are definitely doing that, and I think they showed why they're up there. Second half, I think we came more into it, and I can't really remember Mike having to make many saves. It was a tough game, very experienced side we've played there today. And I think, as I've always been saying, some of the youngsters are finding it a little bit tough and they're learning all the time. But, you know, I think today, perhaps they showed it, obviously first half they done well. I think we came more into it second half, but it's another point for us. We've got to keep picking up as many as we can.
Definite fellow promotion candidates this afternoon.
Yeah, I think they've shown the consistency what's needed. I mean, we're talking about 2 centre forwards that come to £2 million. They're 2 centre forwards. And Peter Reid, I think, is going to have money to strengthen his squad if he gets in with a chance. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do that. We'll just have to keep battling away and hope that people like David White and Stuart and Stevie Brown get themselves fit and come back in contention.
OK, Alan, thanks very much. You too, Sean.